do have is minutes from the meeting of. We'll start with the public hearing.
Okay. Through them. Do you have any comments? I'll make a motion to approve.
PJ? Yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes. And then we have the minutes from the regular meeting.
I looked through those and I didn't have any additions or corrections.
Not any changes either.
Okay.
I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
PJ? Vote yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes. The next thing we need to do, gentlemen, is appoint a new fiscal officer. And I'm going to make a motion to hire Fred May as the fiscal officer.
Second your appointment.
PJ? I vote yes, Fred.
Yes.
John?
Yes. So congratulations, Fred.
Welcome aboard.
We need to have you sworn in. So raise your right hand. I state your name.
Frederick May.
Solemnly swear
Solemnly swear
to support the Constitution of the United States
to support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of Ohio,
and the Constitution of Ohio,
and promise to faithfully and impartially discharge and perform
and promise to faithfully and impartially discharge and perform
all of the duties incumbent upon me as fiscal officer of Auburn Township,
all of the duties incumbent upon me as fiscal officer of Auburn Township,
according to the best of my abilities and understanding.
according to the best of my abilities and understanding.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Fred. Welcome aboard.
You're now official. You have you're bonded, you're trained,
Yes.
you're everything. Okay. We have some scheduled reports here. Mr. Kicko.
Okay, you should all have copies of for both August and September, as I wasn't able to make the last meeting. For August, we processed 12 applications, issued 10 permits, and you can see there it's pretty street 221, several, and we did have one conditional use, which was for the Wheeler, I guess the property was approved. And then in September, we had 11 applications, and we processed a total of 11 permits. Single-family dwellings for the year, it stands at 13, and I believe we have 2 applications on the table for this month already. So, going pretty good. And if you're wondering, somebody asked me one time what the residential others are. The 3 in the last 2 months have to do with demolition of houses. One on Franks Road, one on in BTJ, and then Michael Henry's house, where Michael Henry demoed his existing house and rebuilding a new house on the same property. And we did have a lot split that went through on Henry's property.
Any questions for Frank?
Yeah, just one. There's communication with the property, I guess the current property owners of the property on Munn and 422, the northwest side, by 422. There's a house there that's, I guess the gentleman died about a year ago, and we're trying to get, it hasn't been mowed there, it's like 2 foot deep.
Where is it at? Munn
and 422, freeway.
Oh, freeway. Oh, okay. By Sir's house. Okay, I'll have to check into it. I didn't realize that. And when you said I was picture down here at the corner of Mud and East Washington, so I can.
Yeah, so,
place it.
that's looking pretty good down there.
Yeah, okay.
So-
I'll look into it. That's a process. Sometimes it takes the bank. There's two other ones too. One of them is the former, well, it's still a Hooks property, but there on East Washington. And we have contacted the lawyer involved there. With the responses and
All the stuff that was in the yard anyway.
Right.
I know it's worse with the stuff in the yard, the grass that hides
so
it.
I know we sent him a letter before. We'll follow up on it and see where it is. All
Okay.
Okay, Amber?
Okay, Auburn Township Road Department report for September 2013. Asphalt patching was done on Thorpe Roads 1 and 2, Taylor May 2 and 3. Coal patching was also done on Taylor May 1 and 2, and you should see a requisition for some more coal patch. We'll get some winter patch. That'll be throughout the winter into the spring. A 2-inch lift was applied to the asphalt section of Whisperwood Circle. This patching will provide ample time for the budgeting, planning, and the replacement of a 60-inch cross culvert pipe, which is nearing its life end. And we talked about this. At last year, we were given 10 years on this pipe. Now we're getting about 9 years left. At the time of the culvert replacement, then we'll do the total improvement of the surface. Ditching took place on Taylor May 1. Berm repair was done on Bailey Road and erosion control on Settlers Trail. There was one sheriff's call and one call from the Kenston Bus Garage for down trees. Once again, there are our eyes also. Brush and trees were also cut and removed from Regal Place and Crample Road. We had one full interment at Shadyside Cemetery and did some seeding and mulching. We are up to date on filters. And currently the equipment is entering the ready stage for winter service. Maintenance, painting, dry runs will take place all through the month of October. And that's all I got.
Okay. Any questions for Amber?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay, about the last week, we noticed that Community Park, there's been apparently a great deal of activity there.
Yes.
Was that the road department or was that
We're there.
outside
We're
company?
there every Thursday or Friday for mowing of the park,
Okay,
and Bill Timmons is now harvesting his corn.
okay,
So
but
you'll see.
the outside, the construction company.
This would be
has been called in or has not?
this would be the storage shed foundation.
Okay, so that has begun then.
Yeah,
Okay.
the storage shed foundation.
Yeah.
So you'll be seeing activity in there as we're in there every week now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
PJ?
Couple things. Nancy probably sent around that email. We got an Eagle Scout that's going to construct one of these bridges, and they're in bridges for crossing the waterways and the cross-country tracks up at the park. And just had a fleeting thought late last week that, is there some certification or something they need? So we contacted Chris Ickes, the cross-country coach who had a part in building those up there by the school. And he reassures us that that's not a necessary thing, and which makes these eligible for projects. I just, after everything was underway, I got to thinking that maybe we should double check that. So I don't know, it's a concern I
Yeah,
have.
two of those bridges were Eagle Scout projects.
Yeah, well, I didn't know any of this stuff, so
Is the gentleman that wants to do the project, or no?
Corey,
You're the gentleman that wants to do the project. Is your plan to? What is your plan, sir?
We got to sign something for tonight on this, do we?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Are you prepared? You want me to go on to something else? You ready?
We're ready, right?
Yeah. All right.
Right,
Fine,
so,
let's do another.
For right now, we're gonna go to the site to see what actually needs, what we're actually gonna be working with here to see what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna lay out the excavating for the 8x8 posts that are gonna serve as the supports, and then we're gonna lay out, start creating the 2x12. We're gonna make up the main part of the bridge, and then install the 2x6 rough sawn decking for the treadway, and then we're gonna back up front of the bridge, front and back of the bridge with gravel in order to level the bridge out with the surrounding area.
Which bridge is it that you're interested in doing?
That's what we don't know.
We don't know.
They said there was 3 of them options.
3 of them,
we just
right.
don't know.
I'm okay with any of the 3.
Now, wasn't there a question that was going out to the scout leadership, I guess, whether the bridges would constitute a single project or 3 separate
No, I
projects?
think one bridge would constitute.
I think, well, yeah,
I
I think
have
too.
been in
The
contact
question
with
came up.
the district for that, and they are okay with each bridge being a separate equal
Okay, good.
project as long as we put some time in between.
Yeah, it seemed to make
being
sense
done.
because I think each one is a significant amount of work.
What's the timeline that you want to work under here?
I turn 18 this November, so my timeline is going to be a relatively small one,
Okay.
to say the least.
We figuring what we think we have is we have about 18 volunteers, so we're figuring 2 weekends to finish it. We don't think between with enough volunteers, I don't think we're going to have too many problems. It's not that bad of a project to put together once you get the main framing done.
And you have the drawing from...
We have the drawing.
Service? Okay.
Yeah.
And which of those locations is probably the...
The first one would be the easiest to access.
That's what I
Versus
thought.
you're not carrying material in.
Is that going to make it easier then to go and do the next, the subsequent bridges?
Right. And then, as we discussed, we can move it over a little bit, which would
Yeah.
reduce the span.
Right, we're looking at about a 20-foot span. So we probably, have you been up there to walk that yet?
No, it's probably
Okay.
we're here to figure out where we're going to go. We're not even
Alright.
sure where to even look.
Well, probably the best thing I could suggest is you. It's going to be tough with the time frame, but we need to get together with Mr. Gordon, and he can take you and show you the parameters of that. As you go into the trail, you go to the west immediately, and you'll come across the stream that you have to cross. We're actually where the trail goes now. It's about over a 40-foot span. We're putting a jog in the trail, so it's only about a 20-foot span.
Okay.
The bridge has to be less than 30 inches,
Or you need handrails.
or else we'll have to need, right. So right now, it's considerably less than that.
Oh,
It's probably
okay.
about not even 24. So we just kind of roughly looked at it here a week or 10 days ago.
Okay, and the lumber, do we have to pick it up
That's part
someplace?
of the project that an Eagle Scout has to. Back in
Well,
the
he
old
was
days,
talking about saying something about it's supplied or not supplied. We just need to know: should we arrange to get the wood ourselves, or they're saying something as part of the project?
Yeah, well,
I
as
wasn't
part
sure
of the
what was going
project,
on.
what it is he can get donations of material, monetary donations, whatever he needs for the project. And then, if you need any help from us, then we can look at it at that point too. But traditionally, the supplies were solicited by the Eagle Scout as part of it.
I had my scoutmaster told me that the township. He has been saying something about the township was doing funding for this, and that's what I told the guy from the district. So I tried to confirm that, but I never got any replies back as to whether or not that was actually true. So
We can fund it. We have funded it in the past.
I haven't gotten any requests from
Yeah, I haven't
anybody
seen any either.
from
Yeah,
you.
we just got to find out which way it's going.
Have you
need to
made
know-
a
just
request
need to know
to the
either way.
township, or?
Mr. Ashman told me that it had been chosen to be funded by the township. So that's. I wasn't sure about this.
I
That's
think
why I'm
step
bringing.
one would be that you need them put a plan together and tell us what your plan is, so we can ever assist you or direct you to another, help you direct you to another direction?
You should have a lumber list with this.
We do. It has a full lumber list and a full drawing.
Yeah.
We've got that with us. It doesn't look like that bad. It's a lot later. It's everything's doubled up 2x12s. It's going to be a lot of weight. So you're going to need volunteers to carry, a lot of carrying, putting together. The 2x8s, I mean, 8-footers, 2x8s or double 2x8s stacked up. It's just a lot of weight. It's going to be a lot of labor. As far as the assembly, it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah. I can tell you that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some similar projects that involved as much lumber, and I'm not coming up with one right now. But there's local businesses, Western Reserve. They're pretty good about donating for good projects and things like that. And I don't know, to the west there's Lowe's and whatnot, Carter. But if you're coming to the township, we absolutely need a price on that, right?
Well, I think you need to. My son's an Eagle Scout, and I know when he did his project. Part of that project, I think, is the planning of it. Is it not?
Yes.
So we need to see your plan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd maybe go to Western Reserve and Price Lumber and tell them what you're doing. Well, yeah, take your plan there too, because they do they're a local company and they are likely to help.
The plan is not complete yet. I just got the approval from district Saturday.
Well, keep in touch with me.
Yeah.
Get a hold of me, and you know where to find me there. And we'll, you said you got to move along. And that's happened before too, but it can be done.
Unless we can put a lumber
Oh,
for lumber, so we can take it to them.
Back to my report there, I had a couple meetings in Chardon, which was Mr. Dietrich, concerning a zoning amendment we're looking at that we had a public hearing on. A few thoughts. We've got to make some corrections here, and we mentioned at the close of the public hearing, or at the recess of the public hearing, that we would contact our prosecutor's office with, now'd be the time. We got 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some suggestions from planning and from folks that we've talked to.
Yeah, just run that out to Bridie.
Let's run it to Brian. Bridie, I'm sure Mr. Dietrich has, Becky Schlag is with them all the time. I'm sure Bridie will talk to Becky but
we're just looking at specific language.
Yeah. So that was the result of that, and I think we can move along with that in the next meeting. And that's all I have for tonight.
Okay, Mike.
Okay. Yeah, the only issue I brought up to Frank, but I was looking as a side note to that it's going to the ORC relative to distressed properties of that nature. And I guess, I don't think we've ever done it, but there is a process that we can go through to, if after a certain amount of notices, where we can go in there, chop it down, do whatever we need to do, bill the property owners, and if not, it goes would go on their tax liens. Seems like kind of an extreme thing to do to cut the grass. So,
While you're talking to the prosecutor's office, ask if there's any formal action that this board has to take prior to that.
okay.
Because I think there is, but I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Yeah, there's a whole rigmarole of things we have to do. And, like I said, I hate to see anything get to that point.
Because
Vacant homes with no lawn mowed or what?
Right.
Yeah. Banks aren't doing it anymore?
No. Because when we had that same issue with Mr. Kosar, remember?
Yeah, that property, like I said, it hasn't been mowed in over a year, so it's a good 2 feet high in the front yard.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I mean, it's getting to the point with that one tree sagging and the grass going up, you can't even see the house from the road.
Probably thinking years ago, you used to be able to chase a bank on a foreclosed home.
Okay, yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to check on today.
Right.
month, we have issued warrants 1219 through 1256, totaling $31,325.84. And warrants, for information, warrants 1233 through 42. Those are listed on the D. They have to be reprinted, so they were avoided and reissued, so you know what's going on with those. That's all I've got.
Okay. Couple things. We are members of Q. They did the salt bid this year. They actually went out, they pulled all of the members. They asked about, do you want to renegotiate or just go out for rebids? They rebid all of the salt products this year. And Cargill is the low bidder. It's $40 a ton. Where we've been, I think Emmerich will say you're very pleased with their service. We're already sitting with about 1,800 tons in the building. So I think we'll be set for another year. Actually, the salt, well, if we can have a wonderful winter again, we will be buying the salt again in the summer, July 2000.
What was the total usage last season?
I don't have those. I think it was 1564.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we're same type of winter. We got over
Right.
years.
Yearly averages now are a little over 1,600.
Good.
I'd say our high, we use about 2,000 tons.
1990, yeah, 1,990.
When you get that in the summertime, you get dry salt. You get more salt per ton. Obviously, it's not wet, but also it goes a lot longer. It's easier to stack and it doesn't ever freeze up in the bin. So I think we'll be set for salt. We can always, if we get some killer storm like they're predicting for a killer winter, we can always order more salt under this year's contract.
Correct. We're allowed to go 20 over 20%.
So, you could bring up, we're committed to 1,800 tons, plus or minus. So, we're in good shape on that. I think we have completed every contracted project now that we put out. And I think we had real good results from all of our bidders. We made a big dent in all of the concrete patching up there in the Lucky Bell neighborhood where we had some pretty extensive, it's been over 3 years we've been working on this up there. And so it's really nice to see that those first cracks we ever put in, they've wintered 3 winters already. And they're still just like the day they were put in. So I think we did find the right solution to that problem. There's still going to be a couple panels that we need to work on up there. So we did 2 panels this summer. Next year we'll try to do, I think, 2 more panels if we can. And pretty much that was, it was pretty sad shape up there. Some of those cracks and everything, and I think we got them all pretty much handled. Other than that, I think we're getting pretty much ready for winter. We don't have any major issues that we have facing us, but we are going to have to consider, looking at Emmerich's truck. It's getting some whiskers on it. And it's next in the line. So, we're at
This is 14.
14 years.
14 years.
And you plan on one for like next winter?
Yeah, I think maybe it's going to take us 6 months to get a truck, so at least 6 months. something to be considering. And that would be,
What are we still all on for trucks?
we have 2 payments. Next year we have 1 payment.
So one truck's paid off. We got the backhoe payment.
Backhoe's paid off.
That's paid.
It's paid off. And so we have room in the budget, so to speak, in 2014 for a truck.
One more year on one truck.
Yeah.
And then what's the balance on the other one?
Well, we have 2 more years on the last truck. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to also look at what's the number of the other red truck? 19. It'll be coming up too. So,
Well, always nice to pay them off.
yeah, right. Well, we can handle two payments that are staggered, but we just certainly can't handle 3. So,
Well, we knew we were going to be in a transition period because
Right.
we're trying to shorten the.
we'd like to try to, have some residual value in this and not have 0 residual value. That did work out a little bit, I think, a little more to our favor when we got rid of the backhoe. We actually recouped, I think, $6,500 in that thing, as opposed to just, if I think if we would have gone another season, we'd probably been into
We've pretty much been taking things to scrap value.
Right, we have, and then it's tough if you get up to a major repair and you start to put a major repair in this thing, and the whole truck isn't worth what the repair is worth. So we do run those pretty hard in the wintertime, so it's always something to think about. So. Okay. Next issue we have here is Stafford Road Issue 2 project. And we've been talking about this project for 3 years. And what this would be a reconstruction of Stafford Road 2. And it's a pretty extensive project. We applied for issue 2 for this, and as PJ announced here a month ago, PJ, we did receive the $350,000 grant for that project. When you have an issue 2 project of this magnitude, we're looking at over $800,000 to $1 million to do this project. So planning of it is extremely important, and we want to talk a lot with Joe Cattell about this, and we think that the smartest thing to do is engineer this in 2014 so that it's ready to go out for bids, because since it's issue 2 money, you wouldn't be able to go out, do any construction until after, I think it's July 1st.
Yeah, July 2 usually is when the
July 2.
Yeah, you get the okays from the
And so now you're the contractor's already got their order book made by July 2nd. And you don't have that guy that's, hey, I'd like to put this project in my order book and I'm going to bid aggressively on it.
Right.
And I think that their history shows that. Is that
true? Yeah, sometimes we'll bid them out early, but knowing that they have to wait till July, we find that if we could bid it out right off spring and let them hit the ground running,
right?
You're going to get a better price early season.
So the thinking is we'll do this engineering, and then we'll let them put it out for bid in spring of 2015. Right. There is some trees that have to come down, and there's also some widening of the road. The section of the road from Munn Road to the bridge, east to the bridge, is a little bit on the narrow side. The rest of the road is fine. And so there is some tree removal that'll have to go in there. So that's going to allow us, in 2014 to do the tree removal, and there's also going to have to be in the spring of 2015. There's going to have to be, I don't know, Rick, what are you thinking? Widening of that shelf there. How many feet do you think we're
Did
looking?
you guys determine the shelf yet?
I don't know if we've completed all of that. I don't remember what the actual width was to be.
Yeah, my bridge is at 20 feet. I don't think you're going to give me a 26-foot shelf
No.
prior to that. So I'll be a 24-foot shelf.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So 2 feet?
Yeah, at least 2 on each side.
Yeah.
2, 3 on each side, yeah.
Are
As long
we
as
pretty
it-
much centered though? Are we going to?
Yeah, we're on center line on that road. So there's no relocation of the road itself.
So we'd be looking at, total reconstruction, putting the shelf down.
Especially from, not from Lund, but from IMS there down to
IMS, right? Just
down to the bridge.
down to the bridge. That section right there is where it narrows, and that's where the bulk of the trees are, up next to the road. We have been, for 2 years on Emmerich, or 3. You've been talking to all the residents along there, and we've actually marked these projects out and showed them what we need to do. And so I think that's the way we should probably attack this thing. You guys have
Yeah, Frank got some backslope there too.
Which area?
If we're going to widen it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, relocate the ditches, everything, and this is where we're talking about Sundays coming down on the shoulder here. And, the other area that we were talking about earlier is by Russ's house, up by Wing Road over there with the 2 higher slopes there, which will actually, what we're thinking doing is like what they did over by Gary Coffins with the curb drain. Some under drain on the curb and the catch basins.
Sometimes the curbs will help us, not take as much.
Yes, I don't think I'll be able to lay them slopes back because really, I don't want to endanger the property, whatever he has up there. But I don't want to do anything to compromise that over there. Especially with tree removal on the slope and that, we don't leave that all alone.
Right.
We did bandy about the idea of these gabings and stuff like that. It was just too expensive to support that. So.
It's always easier to try and use natural soil if you can, but building walls and that we try to stay away from if we can.
The grant's nice. I got to tell you, this is a big project.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It'll definitely take a large chunk of a single year's budget just to do this. So.
Yeah, this
I have
project
time to get
is
it,
going to wipe out essentially all 3 levees for 1 year. Now, why you're looking at this, Emmerich, is twofold. One, it's going to take 1.4 miles out of Chip and vault it up to a number 7 road. So you're going to get the savings that you would have had to do for the spending of the chip, and so you're already realizing that savings right there. And it is a major thoroughfare.
it's one of our higher traffic roads.
So we are seeing that we have pretty good base there. We didn't put any asphalt patches on the eastern portion of that section of the road this year. So we're not in bad shape, but there is some drainage issues that we need to work out where the water literally runs around in a circle. So if we can eliminate that problem, that'll be a big help right there.
It sounds like a plan. Like I said, we're looking at out of our pocket here between 5 and 7. So.
About 585.
Yeah, maybe a piggyback a little bit on next year's budget while we're doing our in-kind.
Well, next year we wouldn't actually encumber these expenses. They'll hit us in 15.
Right. But we've been getting everything out the bid, and it's been coming in
Right.
early. It's been coming in 20% under, give or take.
Yeah, Joe and I were kind of thinking we might save 15% by bidding this out at that point in time. And we've seen, and if we really got lucky, maybe 20%.
Right.
And we've seen this in our own just regular projects. So
Yeah. It's big enough. It's going to keep somebody busy for a while. That'd be, you can try to bid it like late February or
Right.
March.
No, that would be it. And we're finding, the earlier we bid the jobs out, the better the price got. Because everybody at that point in time is trying to fill their books.
So
So,
I would agree.
of course, the one thing that would put the kibosh on this would be as if we lost our levy for some reason, which we don't anticipate happening.
We've always had some pretty good support.
We've had
from
real good support on levy
the
and
residents here.
but if it would help us further the elimination of the chip seals and make a big difference. We probably gotten rid of almost 4 miles recently with Crackle, Bartholomew,
Fox,
Quinn, Shaw. So actually about 6 miles we've taken out. So it makes up if you go percentage wise, 1.4 miles of chip is a lot when you're looking at the total number of chips. It's more than 10%. So Fred doesn't seem to have at his fingertips here the resolution. Do you happen to have a copy with you?
you've already did the convenience and
We
necessity.
did the convenience.
So
and
we need a
necessity.
motion to basically appoint the CEO for the project. That needs to happen by the board, and then obviously the CEO name and all that needs to be added to the OPWC application.
Okay.
And I think that came through. I do have copies of it. I think it came with the letter that was on September 13th.
Right.
So this is our copy, so I have it stapled, and I'll give it to you.
If you don't mind, I will read from that. And
Right.
somebody want to make a motion here to appoint a
5-1, and there's the motion to appoint, then it needs to be added. So that's the first step.
and then
Board chairman?
Somebody will be here next year, yeah, so. I mean, that's completely up to you. They just can't be the fiscal officer.
I move to authorize John Eberly to serve as Chief Executive Officer, Certifying Representative to apply for the Ohio Works Commission State Capital Improvement Fund, the SCIP, or Local Transportation Improvement Program, LTIP, funding for self-finance proposed project entitled Stafford Road Section C Reconstruction.
Second.
PJ?
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, we need to also we need to make a certification of funds.
Okay.
Fred, are you up to speed on that, or are you good? Do you want to address that, or?
It's basically, it's paperwork for the OPWC that says, it's not saying at that point in time, at the point in time of the project.
Right. This would be July of 2015.
Right.
So this is your certificate of local funds, Fred. It says, I, the fiscal officer of Township of Auburn, Jack County, certify the local match funds to be provided by the township for the project entitled Stafford Section C Reconstruction Project will be funded by put down whatever fund we're taking it out of the township. Local match in the amount of $450,000 will be available to be encumbered when such encumbrance is required. So this is just a document you have to sign and fill in with our thing and send that back also with
We have
motion.
You should have all that whole packet. You have the whole thing. That's what was mailed to you.
Yeah, we, well, when we passed the levy, we were.
Right, that was my question.
So I discussed it in depth with Joe, and he said he didn't have any problem with us passing it contingent.
Prior to
levy.
the contingent
Right,
levy.
right.
Correct.
They have a paperwork timeline that they have to meet with the state of Ohio.
A lot of that paperwork, I think November, I forget what the date is, November or something, but the motion that you just had, section 5, that's section 7, those items that we need currently, we'd like to get those, if I could today, but we can get it tomorrow. If you could do it tomorrow, we can come get it.
Here, we can use yours.
Those are you could use ours. And then there's actually the 5-year plan that you guys need to finish yet. Fill in the documentation, and that's not immediate need, but what we need is that motion and those forms signed with who you appointed as your CEO. So page 5, section 5.1 of that document, page 6, section 7, and then the motion paperwork. So.
Okay, we need to change this to be we're going to be the project manager. Okay, and who made the motion? Was PJ?
I mean,
PJ, my second. Okay. Second.
Just one spot. One spot, and then there's the fiscal officer page after that.
Yeah, you need to send that down there.
It still is. The other name.
that one for the,
Yeah.
just come out of the road and bridge fund.
Yes.
Do you have a number for the road and bridge fund? Or-
Okay, I think we're all set.
And then, like I said, the only thing that are left is the capital improvement report, which is in there. There's samples of it. You guys have that. That just needs to be completed.
Yeah.
With the help of Emmerich, probably.
Yeah.
And then the capital improvement plan, which is the 5-year plan, which should be pretty simple with Emmerich's reporting that he has. So. And those are in the originals that you have.
We'll just fill that out tomorrow.
You can, that's fine.
And I can shoot it up to you.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay?
All right,
Okay.
thanks a lot for
Very good.
coming
Is
down.
it all right if
Appreciate
I
it.
slide out?
Yeah, take the rest
Not
of
a
the
problem at all.
Okay.
We won't punish you by making
Thanks.
this. Thank you.
Okay, one of the other things that we received a safety grant from Otarma for $500. And we can use that to, I think in the past we for some vests and whatnot, Emmerich, is that right?
Correct. Well, this is the grant that we purchased, the grant we purchased,
That's right.
safety vests,
Yeah.
safety gear, safety equipment.
So, note that we got that. We had the engineers do a speed study on Fox. They completed that, and its resolution number is Auburn Township Resolution 2013-11. Whereas a request has been made to this board that the statutory vehicular speed limit established by Section 4511.21 Revised Code of Ohio is greater than that considered reasonable and safe on Fox Road TR 201 from the Portage County line to Shaw Road TR 203, and whereas this board has caused to be made an engineering and traffic investigation upon the section described above, and whereas it is the belief of this board that such investigation confirms the allegation that the statutory speed limit of 55 miles per hour is unrealistic. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Auburn Township, Geauga County, Ohio, that Section 1, by the virtue of the provisions of Section 4511.21 Revised Code of Ohio, the Director of Transportation is hereby requested to review the engineering and traffic investigation and to determine and declare a reasonable and safe prima facie speed limit of 45 miles per hour on Fox Road, TR 201, from the Portage County line to Shaw Road, TR 203. That when this board is advised that the Director of Transportation has determined and declared that reasonable and safe speed limits on the sections of road described in Section 1 hereof, standard signs properly posted and giving notice thereof will be created. Past the 7th day of October 2013.
Call for a vote on it, Fred?
Well, I got a motion
Well,
to
motion.
adopt that resolution.
Okay, I think yours has motion, I'll second.
Okay, PJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
And John.
Yes. Okay, so it'll be, Emmerich, you'll go out and repost that at 45 miles per hour.
We still got that book of uniform traffic control, don't we?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, hey guys, there's 2 pages.
Did we appoint Fred as records retention officer
I'm
too?
going to do that in about 2 minutes. Two more pages for that. Okay. PJ, I guess, do you want to make a motion?
Yeah. The bonus part of the job that doubles your salary, we're going to also appoint Fred May as record retention officer and record request officer.
I'll second that.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
That's a
John.
bonus. That's real perfect job.
PJ, you'd asked that we put the zoning commission opening on the agenda. So
Yeah, we had, of course, we've, I think we're alternate 3 right now, too, and Mr. Mays left the commission to take on this job, so we're a bit short-handed there. We've got a couple of resumes on file, but perhaps we should put something in the papers here that we're seeking applicants. I know it's the end of the year, and I know that, but the fact of the matter is they lost the meeting to lack of quorum. They can't have that. Can't have that.
In that case, yeah, if we lost a quorum, then we're going to have to go ahead and have Nancy.
We could appoint, with election season coming, we could appoint we could just appoint the alternates right now. Just make sure we have meetings. So the term
fill an alternate seat, is that what you'd like to do?
the terms could end January 1 if we want
Right.
to do it that way. But we need
Right.
we need to bring some people aboard here. We do.
Well, I know we had Jeff Paulsford.
When Solon Sand closed, he kind of had to start chasing jobs willy-nilly, and that's kind of why, that is why he stepped down here a few years back. He's, got time to do it again now. He was a valuable member of that commission, too, and as I said, we need people. Experienced people are even better, but we need people. You want to interview a couple of people here?
Yeah.
Next meeting, 7 o'clock, we got a public hearing. We can probably do it if we start at 7.
Sure.
Let's
Public
start
hearing at 7:15. Why don't we go?
Let's get it in the paper, see how many responses we get.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got the 2 on file if we want to interview here at the next one. So
Yeah, well, I think we should definitely interview those two.
let's do that, and let's close. If we look for interested people, Fred, and as I said, I stated why we have to do it and why it's kind of important to get it done quickly. Why don't we just take them until that night?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Until what? 21st.
Okay, this would be for alternate number 1.
1 and 2, I would. Let's see what we got, and this would be for alternate positions. I'll just call it that.
All right. Is that a motion then?
Yes.
I'll say
Second.
PJ,
Yes.
Mike,
yes.
John,
Yes. So we're going to start at quarter of.
You want to make 6:45?
Yeah, we'll do 15 minutes.
That means the schedule. 2 people we have now. And we'll discuss whoever applies for the applicants at the meeting then.
Okay, Mike, I know this is always something that's been up your alley. Last item on here.
Yes, trick or treat. Okay. Tread lightly on this one this time.
Well,
Here's going to be
we
my
had a lot
record.
of complaints last year due to the fact it was too cold.
Well, I think right now we will tentatively set it for October 31st, 6 to 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. weather permitting. And if there is some inclement weather, we will coordinate with Bainbridge so that we can contact the school and everybody can be in.
If we went in July, we'd know it'd be good.
I was thinking we should move it up, but
And you
Don't
get
look
more
like rain.
sunlight. I kind of, I'm old school. I've always thought it was the 31st of October.
yeah.
Was it that hurricane last year, or was it just
Yeah, the pesky hurricane.
Was that
that
the
really messed
hurricane?
things up.
Was that Sandy? Was it?
Yeah.
It was. Okay.
Okay. So it'll be the 31st.
Will be the 31st,
From
barring any
6 to
hurricanes.
8.
6 to 8.
Is that a motion?
That is a motion.
Second.
Very good.
DJ?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Okay. Any comments?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Question for Fred, warrant number, see if I can read mine already. Warrant 1230 for $147. Can you clarify for me what the $147 charge from the time that is? So I don't have to ask.
$47 charge from the time out. That was, I don't know off the top of my head, but I believe that was for my bond. But we can get you that record if you would like.
I'll think about it. Thank you.
Any other business?
No. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
DJ?
Yes.
Yes.
John?
Yes.